Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Sorry for the lack of content in the last week. I had 3 volleyball tournaments and a family vacation, so I didn't have any time to record a video. However, I have had a lot of people talk to me about whether or not they should keep their streaming accounts. So what I'm going to try to do in some of these down weeks where there's not much going on in the box office is go through a lot of these streaming platforms, films that are available or that are released by those streaming platforms, and talk about those movies and whether or not you should even keep those streaming platforms. To kick these videos off, I wanted to talk about Netflix's new film, The Gray Man. The Gray Man is a movie directed by the Russo brothers, who have worked with Marvel a lot in the past, namely on The Winter Soldier. The work they did in that film, paired with the star power in this film, made me want to watch it. The synopsis is as follows. When the CIA's top asset, his identity known to no one, uncovers agency secrets, he triggers a global hunt by assassins set loose by his ex-colleague. Without further ado, let's get into the 6 things that make a movie great. 1. The plot. The synopsis I just read for this movie was a bit convoluted, so let me give you a better idea of what this film is about. Ryan Gosling plays a character named Six, who is basically a member of the CIA hit squad, originally founded by Donald Fitzroy, played by Billy Bob Thornton. Years later, a man named Carmichael takes over, and during an assassination operation, Six decides to defect because he senses that there are some things that aren't quite right. Carmichael then hires Lloyd Hansen, played by Chris Evans, to hunt down and kill Six and get the intel that they wanted from the original mission. What follows is an action-packed movie full of gunshots, explosions, suspense, and a decent storyline. I thought that the plot for this movie was pretty serviceable. They kept it simple, focused on what they needed to, but there are definitely some small holes, and I didn't really like the ending of the movie. But even with those things, for all intents and purposes, the plot served its purpose and it was pretty enjoyable. So plot gets a thumbs up. 2 is family friendliness. This movie is rated PG-13 and it is chock full of action, violence, a medium level of profanity, and a couple of uncomfortable torture scenes. I'd say that they kept it within the PG-13 rating pretty well, but because of all the violence, I have to give family friendliness a 50-50. 3 is acting and script. By far, the best part about this movie is Ryan Gosling. He's an incredible actor, and the lines he was given in this movie were awesome. Chris Evans' performance was pretty awesome as well. I thought they could have made his character a bit more sadistic and evil, which sounds terrible, but I really liked his performance, and ultimately I don't have any complaints. Billy Bob Thornton is a great actor, and I loved his performance in this movie as well. The character that I couldn't quite put my finger on was Ana de Armas. She does grow on you as the movie progresses, but at the beginning of the movie, it seems like the line she was given and her character in general was specifically to fight toxic masculinity. Moments like ignoring a man until she feels like she wants to listen to him and telling a man to get out of her personal space. Make no mistake, Ana de Armas is a great actress, but the lines she was given were pretty poor. But then on the other side of that, when she's fighting guys that are 250 pounds, she outsmarts them with her skill, not with throwing them across the room. So her acting performance is a bit of a question mark to me because her script was pretty poor. I wouldn't mention anything about these 2 characters, but you know how I am with villains. The 2 villains in charge of Lloyd Hansen are Carmichael and Brewer, and they have some of the most lackluster, uninspiring, worthless parts in this movie. Not only were their performances extremely annoying, every moment that they were involved in the script was convoluted and fell out of place in the movie. And I can't tell if that's because they're just bad actors, or if it's because the script didn't play to their strengths. Either way, they were the worst parts about this movie, and especially since they gave them the time in the movie that they did and what happens at the end of the movie, I was pretty disappointed with the Russos' inclusion of what they did with these characters. So barring the incredible performances by Evans and Gosling, acting and script gets a 50-50. 4 is character development. As far as getting character development about who these people were in the past, there's slim to none. I think they do a really good job establishing character development with Six, Fitzroy, and Claire Fitzroy. That dynamic was really one of the best parts about this movie too. The banter between Six and Claire and the banter between Six and Lloyd not only help with character development but also give the movie a degree of humor that is actually pretty nice. Ana de Armas is given all the character of a cardboard box, and in general most of the characters in this movie are not given any character development. Do you understand what's going on? Yeah, but if you start asking questions, you're going to be disappointed. Character development gets a thumbs down. 5 is visuals and CGI. Here it is. Here it is. You were looking for the worst part about this movie. This is it. I didn't expect to be saying this in a movie that's sole focus, it seemed, was to engorge you with violence and action. There are a lot of hard-hitting action scenes in this movie, and they are cool, and some of the fight scenes are decent, and every single one of them is plagued by absolutely horrible CGI. It's believable to me that they sunk their budget into getting A-list actors and tried to put whatever was left over towards CGI, but it was not enough. A lot of the action scenes they shoot in the dark or try to mask it with having dust in the air or smoke in the air, but you can see pretty obviously it's really bad CGI. And it's made even worse when it's shot in the daytime. The CGI is absolutely disgusting, and it sticks out like a sore thumb and pulls you right out of the movie. With a bigger budget, this universe has a lot of promise, but for this film, the CGI is by far the worst part. Huge thumbs down. And 6 is rewatchability. For how divided I was about the quality of this film, I'd have to say it's pretty rewatchable. Ryan Gosling carries the film on his back, and the storyline keeps you engaged while the action draws your attention. This movie has a runtime of just over 2 hours, and some of the action scenes are drawn on a bit long, but overall this movie is a decent action thriller, so rewatchability for me gets a thumbs up. With all these areas considered, I have to give The Gray Man a 7 out of 10. This movie had some worthless characters, it had a lack of character development, it had absolutely terrible CGI, but it had some great performances by Ryan Gosling and Chris Evans. It had a lot of naturally funny lines of dialogue that were delivered really well on screen, and I really enjoyed the interactions between the main characters. Somehow, it's already been announced that they already have 2 more films in the making and that they're building a universe around the character of 6. And I think that universe has a lot of promise. I just think they can do a few things better, and then they may have a pretty awesome universe on their hands. So with that in mind, if you're looking for a decent action thriller with some great acting and character moments, and you're not worried about character development or CGI, I'd give The Gray Man on Netflix a watch. Thank you so much for watching. If you've seen The Gray Man, please let me know what you thought about it in the comments below. As always, I appreciate your love and support, and I'll catch you guys and gals in the next one. It's actually pretty rewatchable. Wow, I'd say it's pretty rewatchable. Wow, I can't speak English. Rewatchable. Wee wee.